This is WOMM LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. Good evening, it's The Rocket Shop. I'm your host, Tom Proxer. And with me tonight is Blackwater. Hello, guys.
Hello.
What's up, world?
We like kicking off with a song. So, what are you going to play to begin with?
We're gonna play Old North End.
Alrighty.
I think that's our only original out on Spotify. So.
Blackwater there, kicking us off with Old North End. That was quite a song to start the show with. Are all the songs this high octane, or is this kind of the anomaly?
Tonight they all go pretty hard tonight.
They usually do.
We usually play pretty rock and roll songs. Yeah, it's generally the vibe.
Yeah, in a town full of jam bands, what made you guys want to go the rock and roll route?
It's more fun.
Yeah, there it is.
It's just I mean, mostly just what we listen to.
Yes.
You know? I mean, yeah, the jam band stuff is awesome. But I just don't think that's what inspired all of us growing up. So, you know, it's just what it came to be.
Well, yeah, talking of growing up, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you guys all meet each other? Actually, should we go around and introduce ourselves first, actually, if you want to start stage
Yeah,
right?
I'm Andrew over here on the guitar.
Jake on the bass.
I'm David on the other guitar.
I'm Gideon on the drums.
Well, nice to meet you guys. And how did you all form? What was the genesis of Blackwater?
Can I tell the story?
Yeah,
Part
Gideon's.
of the story.
Yeah.
I'd say go as close to the microphone as you can do, though.
This microphone?
Yeah, it's the microphone, yeah.
Okay. Well, so I met Jake freshman year of college in an exploring music history class. And right away he told me about, we connected over having an interest in music and having, playing instruments and stuff. And he was like, oh, like me and my friend Andy, who's a really great guitarist, like we had this band back home and we want to start a band here too. Like you should come jam with us. And that was sort of the origin of it for me is we would jam in Andy's dorm room at on UVM campus and stuff like that until the RAs came and shut us down, that kind of stuff.
I was going to say that your neighbours must have loved it on the
Oh,
either
they-
side
yeah.
of the room.
The girls above and to the left and the right hated us.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people ratted on you and caused you to move. Where did you start practicing after that? What was the next port of call?
Well, at that time, that was like right before COVID started, and we did a couple of like goofy little campus gigs, like the Wellness Talent Show and the Battle of the Bands. And then COVID hit, so then we weren't together for like a while. Gideon was taking a year off, and then me and Jake and Hobart were living together, having a pretty okay time sophomore year. Just trapped in our prison of a suite in LNL.
So horrible. Having to live in a suite.
Yeah, it was but yeah, that was kind of when it was kind of funny because Gideon was gone, but then yeah, we started hanging out with Hobart, and we were like, oh, like now we got another guy to play guitar in our band. And then finally junior year, it was like the worlds collided, and it was when COVID sort of ended, and then we all were together in the band. And yeah, that was like last year, 2021, started playing together.
By any chance, did you guys all relocate to the Old North End? Was that the place where this kind of finally came together?
They all live at the Old North End.
Yeah, we lived down in the Old North End.
And next year I'm going to be living in the Old North End and they're going to not be living in the Old North End.
See, Gideon, they're running away from you.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, the rule is like at least some person in the band has to live in the Old North End if we're gonna play the song.
Right, that's very true. Otherwise, the residents would not be happier with you. So you came out with your debut EP a couple of years ago. So I'm guessing that's during the kind of pandemic-y-ish era. I think it was like April of 2021. And then you also recently released an album. Is that right?
I wish no.
I thought I saw that on your Instagram. They had an album release party, and I was like, oh, we have to talk to you about the album.
We were playing with friends who were having an album release party.
I got it. So the EP's the thing that's out at the moment. It's on Spotify. It's on your Bandcamp. What made you want to go out and record an EP? Because I know there's two like original songs on there, 3 covers. Were you guys just like, this sounds really tight, which is, I want to get something down?
I think a lot of it was just it was a way to express ourselves through music, being trapped in the dorms sophomore year and not being able to play any shows, and just so something for us to do, and it was fun. And then it blossomed into what it is now.
Yeah. And did you guys record it in the dorms? Was it all like kind of home recording?
Couple of the songs we were recorded when it was like the thick of it, like right when the pandemic started. Jake and I recorded some stuff at home, and then like finished those projects, those songs, and then like when we were living with Hobart, let's record more new stuff. And then so like some of it was in the dorm, some of it was in like some home studios, back in the hometown in CT. But yeah, it was like a mixture of both.
Recording at home, you don't obviously have the pressure of like, seeing dollars literally fall out of your wallet as you're recording. Does that change the way that you kind of record, or is it a lot more experimental? in the way that you recorded this? Is a lot more stuff fly, or is it kind of regimented? How do you guys, when you sit down and record, how do you guys kind of operate?
I think there's something to be said about recording at home, and you can do it alone, without everybody hearing you. So I can sing a million terrible lines until I get that right one, and with no shame, nobody to hear me. That's really actually embarrassingly probably my favorite part about recording at home. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely we've never recorded in like a real studio or anything, so it's always the home studio setup and like yeah, you can just try whatever and like Jake said, take a million takes of the guitar solo and keep adding more guitars and just not worry about time at all. So
You mentioned that you kind of wish you kind of had an album to throw out. Is that something that's kind of been in the works for a while? Have you been planning to kind of get together and actually, put together like a longer record?
somewhat, yeah. I mean, we don't have any solid plans right now because it's just been all about like playing as many shows as we can. But I think yeah, probably this summer we'll start like taking. We have like 15 original songs that we've all written. So yeah, we're definitely hoping to get that in some sort of record format.
We're planning to start planning.
Yeah, plans are gonna be planned.
Yeah, so I noticed in your bio that you mentioned that every single one of you writes your own tracks. So what does that look like when bringing it to the band? Is it a case of one of you writes a ton of them and everyone else has got like one or two? Is it kind of a bit more evenly spread? And then how do you decide that this is a song that we're going to kind of debut to the public? How does that go about? Is it a democratic decision? Does everyone get 2 or 3 songs for a set? Or how does it really, how does it go for you guys?
I can speak.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, like, all the songs are so far, and this is actually something we want to expand upon. We want to do more group songwriting, I think, but usually it's a song is written on our own. A lot of the time, for me, I got songs written, I don't know, in high school or freshman year of college, and they've just been sitting around. I'm like, hey, do you guys like the sound of this? And then introduce it, teach everybody everything that I have, and then everybody adds their own stuff on top of it. And that's pretty much how it goes for everybody's songs, I would say.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Everybody is definitely anybody can add whatever we want to do, whether it's a cover, an original, and yeah, just kind of like bring it to the table, and it just like grows into something way bigger, 4 times as big as whatever you got.
Although for me, it's always like whenever I bring a song, it always feels kind of like a collective song, because I don't really play guitar, so it's always kind of a matter of translating something like that's like piano or like synthesizer and like that I threw together in Logic or something, translating that to a setting with guitars and trying to like do it by ear and kind of teach them the melody and then like the chords, and it usually ends up being a lot of input from everybody in that process, and it becomes like a completely new song.
Do you ever turn up with a song that you've written but you've only got the drums to show with it, or is it do you always kind of make sure you get like some synths down so you've got like a melody to work with?
Yeah, I mean, usually I haven't done that. Is the short answer. Usually I feel like because I do a lot of stuff in just messing around on the computer, and with that I'll sometimes start with like a groove or like a rhythmic idea, but usually I won't bring something to Blackwater unless I think it sounds like a Blackwater song, or there could be a Blackwater interpretation of it, kind of. Yeah, so I mean, sometimes like we'll be jamming and just like messing around, and then I'll start doing something, and then I'm like, wait, can we do that as a song? And so there's at least one song that's kind of in the works, that is sort of was born of that, but yeah, I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, and we're kind of also curious because you like, I'll only bring a song if I feel like it's a Blackwater song. So if it's not a Blackwater song, where does that song go?
Oh, well, so I have my own little like music sort of alter ego called Kingbird. Look me up, Spotify. There's all. It's not there's also a Brazilian like metal group called Kingbird. That's not me. But I've like since high school, like I started making like beats and stuff when all my friends were sort of, you know, just messing around on Logic and stuff. And then that eventually turned into, that's kind of my main songwriting outlet, I'd say. That and just kind of like playing piano. And then I don't really do anything with that, or it doesn't really go anywhere usually, yet at least. But yeah, that's sort of the other, if it's not like, doesn't fit the Blackwater vibe, then usually it sort of just remains in the nebulous Gideon sphere.
Does anyone else have other musical projects on the go that, you know, when they write, do you also categorize Blackwater song or other thing that I might be getting involved in?
I personally like most of my stuff. I feel like could be Blackwater songs. The stuff that doesn't. I'm working on one right now with 2 other friends, and that's just because it just happened that way. You know, it was just Henry could do some great backing vocals on this. So let's work on a song together. Really no other reason.
Nothing officially created, just kind of more kind of messing around with mates.
Yeah, and we're working on a Logic project that'll officially be released, you know, but
Yeah.
who knows when that'll come out.
Cool.
I think everybody generally has their songs that they want to play with Blackwater, but if not, everybody's musical taste is much broader than just like rock music. So it could, I think everybody probably writes stuff that is like, oh, I'll just do this over here in the non-Blackwater world. And yeah, I think that's kind of how it works.
As you're all writers, songwriters, when you do bring a song to the band, do other folks in the band collaborate on the actual writing portion of this? Is, you know, someone takes a verse, someone takes a chorus, someone takes the next verse. Like, do you kind of come with a kernel, a very small piece of what you are bringing to the band, and then maybe the band actually adds lyrics as well as melody and a rhythm? Or is it like, all right, no, I've written a song and we're going to figure out how this is going to sound, but the song lyrics is very specific and that's going to stay very, very static?
Yeah, no, we've never done group song or lyric writing.
It's definitely the latter. Like,
Yeah.
Someone has a pretty clear idea in their mind, at least lyrically or partially structurally, of the song, but then as far as like the instrumentals goes, or like when the timing of choruses or verses, or if there's a bridge, like that kind of stuff is like left to the band.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not like exclusively what happens, but whenever there's like the opportunity for that, that's kind of how it shakes out.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just down to like we need to learn a way to play this song so we can play it at the show. So like this, let's just do it this way. But I think over time things change as we play them more and they have more like time for like attention and stuff. And I think like probably when we start recording songs, we'll realize like, oh, we can do it this way. We don't have to do it the same way we've always done it. But like I said, our whole band exists kind of like just for playing shows. So it's like we just need to like figure out what we're gonna do when we get up there.
Right. Let's talk to you a little bit about your live shows. But first of all, I want to hear another song. So what you guys got for us for the second one?
Sweet.
This is a song called, well, I'll let Jake tell you the name of the song. Let's see. I'm the guy.
Blackwater there with I'm the Guy. Definitely more of a homage to the jam kind of band sphere that we kind of live in, especially with the kind of the wobbly guitar. But yeah, that went real hard. Um, so tell us a little bit about the gigs you've been doing, because I imagine sitting that in a basement probably would get a little bit messy. So yeah, how did your live playing days start? I mean, you said you did the Battle of the Bands and kind of a few things on UVM campus. I'm guessing that was just the beginning. Where did it go from there?
Yeah, we definitely like freshman year, like I said, we're playing some like real little funny things on campus. And then when we started playing like all together last year, definitely started out in the basements, like a classic Burlington band does, and still play the basements because they're fun. But yeah, have just like through time and playing and growing and meeting new people and getting asked to play new shows, I've grown into playing all over town in some pretty awesome spots.
Yeah, I see you guys being
And-
pretty regular at Nectar's.
They were going to play our third show at Nectar's this May. It's our first time headlining there, which would be really cool. And then we're also playing at Higher Ground with some friends, some other friends and bands, and Radio Bean, another classic spot around here. So yeah, we definitely climbed out of the basements, but we still hang out down there
We climb
sometimes.
back in from time
Yeah,
to
sometimes we crawl back down there.
Make a little havoc.
Yeah, it's a basement party is it's fun. It's
Yeah.
I get it. You know, Radio Bean's nice. I've got beer on tap, but at the same time, you know, basement show is basement show. Yeah, I saw you guys playing Higher Ground. Congratulations. This will be the first time you played that venue?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What?
Actually, we're playing with Brunch, who also was a Rocket Shop guest.
Yeah, we like brunch. So how did that gig get going? I mean, because it's a few local bands, right? It's you and Brunch and Hands Down Pants as well. I don't know if they're local. I've not heard of them.
Yeah, them and then Dick Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you end up getting an invite to play at Higher Ground?
I mean, yeah, just Dick Richard mostly set it up. They were in contact with. I don't really know the story, the behind the scenes of how they got that, but
We just got invited.
They
Yeah,
they just asked us.
yeah,
Yeah.
they wanted us to play with them and Brunch and Hands and Pants. I guess because we all kind of have more of that like sort of hard rock kind of punkish sort of vibe or whatever. So it's sort of it's a thematically fitting bill, and also like we're pretty good friends with the Dick Richard people at this point. That was like a lot of our first shows we played with them at their basement, in fact.
Oh,
True, our first basement show was at their Dick Richard basement.
Have they ever come to your basement? Have you done a basement swap?
They have a much better basement than us.
One of the best basements.
One of the best basements.
Yeah.
So good.
It's
Good
been compared to like the
headroom,
Red
you know,
Rocks.
You're not gonna bang your head on too many
That's the thing,
pipes.
There's only like maybe 2 basements of the like 15 different ones I've played at that's actually like adequate head height.
Well, you're quite tall, so I mean, I feel like your
A lot of,
adequate head
like,
height is
cross
different.
beams and pipes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, hitting on the head, but it's okay.
Lots of rocks in basements in Burlington, I've noticed. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Just you go downstairs and then all of a sudden there's a 2-meter tall rock that's just protruding out of the floor. Just something really easy to like just fall over and crack yourself on. But yeah, how are you preparing for Higher Ground? That's going to be a huge gig. Do you guys do any kind of like, you know, pre-show preparations, or do you just kind of rock up, plug in, and
Oh,
just go
it's so
off?
much preparations.
We talk about like the day of stuff we do, but
It's top secret.
in very broad terms, we practice a lot.
Yeah. We definitely rehearse half the nights of the week, or if not more, depending on everyone's schedule. So yeah, just like a bunch of rehearsing in our
roommates hate
basement.
us for it.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, Owen and Dom.
Yeah.
and happy birthday to Dom. By
Happy
the way.
birthday, Dom.
That's nice. I don't think we've ever had a birthday shout out on this show.
I think he might be at jujitsu class, but if not, happy birthday.
You can listen back tonight. And,
Oh, yeah, sure that.
And then you'll hear that happy birthday. Hey. Do you guys have any like superstitions before you go on? Yeah, I mean, because I've read a few band memoirs. Some of their superstitions include needing to snort a line of coke or something before going on. I'm not saying you would do that, and you definitely wouldn't admit to it on this radio station. But is there anything in particular that you guys do to like psych yourself up before you get on stage?
Honestly, I mean, a beer before a show is nice,
Yeah.
but nothing, no coke, nothing illegal.
Good, and nothing would be illegal, and we would never admit that on this show.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I just always like to have. I just like to have everything that I might possibly need. Like I always have my backpack. I almost never need like my backpack while I'm playing drums, but that's where I keep my sticks, and so I'll have like another pair of sticks in case I drop one. Embarrassing. Oh, I just pick up a new one.
And if you're starting to freak out, you just sit there and zip and unzip and
Yeah.
just feel those little gears melt.
Yeah, get you centered.
That might be more of a you thing.
That's a Gideon thing.
You guys kind of bring a lot of energy to your sets. Is that something that was kind of natural when you first started playing, or is this something you've kind of deliberately cultivated over time? Or is it kind of a mixture of both? You're just quite good at that, and then also you're now like, well, I kind of want to be this kind of stage presence, so you've kind of worked on it.
I think it's just, at least for me, it's just having fun. You know,
Yeah.
there was never any planned. Sometimes we have like a planned little dance move, you know, something goofy. But for the most part, it's just moving with the music. The music moving us more, I would say.
A lot of it is like interacting with the crowd, especially like in a basement setting, because they're like right there, like an arm's length out, just like in your face. Like if they're moving along, like you can't help but like kind of get into it too. Plus, like a lot of the times, like we already like feel our music pretty good, so we're gonna be doing like swaying along to it anyways, like trying to get them to do something. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like just bouncing off.
Yeah, it's like having a conversation with the audience, kind of.
Yeah.
It is funny when you start like when we play some of our more I don't know, moshy songs. When you start jumping one way, the whole crowd starts doing the same thing, and it's fun. Yeah, it's fun to see people react like that.
Have you thought about this in terms of the higher ground show? Because obviously Nectar's and Radio Bean. Radio Bean's got obviously a really short stage. Nectar's a little bit higher, but higher ground is it's a venue.
It's higher.
It's a higher ground, yeah. So have you thought about how your presence and the way you're going to be on stage is going to differ at all because of that kind of that difference in height, effectively?
We haven't really done much. We gotta start planning on doing more plans and stuff. I feel like we haven't. I haven't really considered the specifics of playing higher ground all that much actually, but
Just put you into an.
I think we're
existential
definitely
crisis
planning on
mode.
like doing a lot of high energy stuff, like
Yeah.
bringing it like all like, because we also have like a short 45-minute set. So I think the plan is just like go out there and play like as hard as you can in this little set. Probably have this crazy adrenaline rush and just let it be like a big bang of a little show.
We have talked a little bit about like there's a theme to the whole show, which is like a masquerade ball. And we've
Okay.
talked a little bit about our costumes and stuff. Or I was thinking at least like sort of like a. Sorry,
You guys
that's
keeping it quiet for the day of the show? Are
You have
you
to come to find out, but we've thought about it.
are you going to be I'm not going to try and ask too many questions because I don't want to give it away. But are you guys going to be a singular theme, or are you going to be all individuals, kind of like with your individual kind of masquerade look?
Both and neither.
Yeah,
It's a mysterious
all of
answer.
the above.
Out of any one of you, who is most likely to stage dive at this show, if any?
It depends how many chorus Hobart's had.
How many Blue Mountains I've climbed. After passing like the 5 or 6 is when it's like, okay, this stage doesn't seem very good right now.
Right.
Those people look strong.
It's less about whether or not it looks strong. I always feel for a stage dive, the crowd's really going to be on your side, because if you misjudge that and they're like, actually, we're good, it doesn't take very many of them to opt out for you to end up hitting the floor pretty hard. But it's going to be a great gig. I'm looking forward to it for you guys.
Yeah, thank
Bar, obviously your future favorite venue, Higher Ground. Is there a particular venue in town that you guys really get good vibes off? The place that you were always itching to play next?
I've always loved the few times we've done Nectars. Those are both my favorite shows I think that we've played. It's just they've been super fun. I think part of that is they were really big shows for us, so we practiced a lot, made sure we knew we were gonna have a good crowd, and did our best, and that's what made it so fun, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Nectar's. It's definitely the probably the coolest venue in town, in my opinion. It's just like such a nice sized room, and it's just like a cool vibe in there, and you just know it's like the spot in Burlington, and like knowing all that comes like with like this cool place that you're in makes it more special and makes you take it like way more seriously. Like, oh yeah, like Jake said, we gotta like prepare a ton for playing at Nectar. So I would also agree with the Nectars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nectars.
Yeah, we'll go next all round.
Right, yeah, well, because it's sort of a nice middle ground. Like, it is like, it's definitely like, when we've played there, it's been like, oh, holy moly, holy moly, we're playing Nectar. This is like really exciting. We have to really, and we bring a lot of energy to that, a lot of like kind of excitement just for ourselves. And then it's also like, I mean, it also like the fact that mostly we've only just like opened for people there so far. Like, it's been great to like get really amped up and then play and then be able to hang out and listen to music and all of our friends in there. And it's like also still like this like wonderful like community neighborhood spot.
Right.
Really just like good, friendly atmosphere.
So do you? I mean, I obviously checked you out a little bit. You've got your Linktree, you've got your Spotify, you're on Instagram. Do you guys make a real point of advertising yourself properly to make sure that you're gonna have the crowd there when you turn up, or is that kind of just something every band does now? You kind of expected to have a Spotify account. So do you guys do any like kind of real active marketing for these shows, or have you got enough of a name around Burlington now that enough people are always going to turn up anyway?
We just do Instagram and promotion pretty much. It does the good enough trick because everybody, like I'd say like our quote unquote target audience is like people our age, because just like friends and they bring friends and stuff. But we really just post stuff on Instagram, and it does a good enough trick. We're definitely not like the band that everybody knows in Burlington, that's for sure. So we definitely do make a point to like just promote as much as we can on Instagram, I guess.
Do you have any diehard fans though? I mean, like, you don't need to be the biggest band in Burlington to have like maybe a core select few that you know are going to be reliably turning up every show. Do you guys have like some Blackwater fan
Our friends.
boys and girls?
Yeah, I mean like Dom and Owen and Caitlin are always at our shows, and there's definitely a bunch of homies that always pull up for the shows.
Well, that's the nice thing about the music scene around here. Also, is it's so supportive. Is we go to all of our friends' shows, and they come to all of ours, and it's just fun.
Yeah, that's why Burlington's one of the greatest cities in America. Anyway, we'd love to hear another song. So, what have you got for us?
Dead Eye Dick. Is that what we're doing? A song called Dead Eye Dick.
I'm playing bass for this song.
I'm playing drums for this song.
My bad. Sorry, folks. I think I could sip your water again before just
Absolutely.
to move up the pipes. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
What's your favorite spot to see a show in Burlington?
Oh God, that's a good question. I would say the lamp shop that connects to the Radio Bean, because I've just always seen good bands there. They don't open it up that often for a live show, and it's usually like the Radio Bean's birthday where they kind of go back and forth, which is one of the best nights out. But yeah, I think that and the fact that just chandeliers everywhere and like old beer lights and
Yeah, that room is really cool.
yeah, some really weird stuff that I would love to buy, but they're all like $1,000. But yeah, that's a really good venue. I don't know, Annie, you got any favorite venues of ours?
I like the patio at Orlando's.
Patio Orlando's.
Nice.
Yeah, especially in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to get out there this summer. It is a cool spot.
Yeah, their neighbors actually recently complained to the city council for noise reasons. Yeah, they moved to Burlington from somewhere, and then they were shocked that downtown was maybe a bit loud at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. So
I heard about that. I
Screw
signed
these
the
guys.
I signed the petition to keep them going.
good. How we doing in the rodeo, like the roadie this thing going on? We got the bass on. Excellent.
Yeah, that's what we got. Put it real low for me so I can really rock out.
Nice.
Little extra low, but we'll make it work. Have to be staring at my hands all the time. Ready?
Uncle Johnny throw his life away.
Blackwater there with, I'm assuming, Take Me Home. I don't think I even got the title before we started.
It's called Dead Eye Dick.
Dead Eye Dick.
Yes.
how do you come up with like so? Old North End is one of your songs. I'm guessing inspired by local, your locale, shall we say? Dead-Eyed Dick. Where's the inspiration for that? Who wrote this one?
So I wrote that one. It's a complete random amalgamation of different things. The name is stolen from or inspired by a Kurt Vonnegut novel. I just really liked it. The song itself is more inspired by the song Uncle Salty by Aerosmith. And just putting those two together, making it into one thing that's really what the song is.
Do you guys often specifically like have a song in mind when writing or performing a song? Like as you said, this one was kind of inspired by an Aerosmith song. Is there other songs in your repertoire where you listen to a song, you're like, oh my god, that's amazing, and then try and create a Blackwater version of that?
I don't know if you do. I don't know if you guys do. I don't personally. I don't think I really do that much. But I have been inspired to write a song. Like the song we're about to play was inspired by going to basement shows and being like, oh, we want to play basement shows, but I want to write a song that would really work in a basement show. So inspired by a venue or a setting to see music, but maybe not as much about not as much inspiration from a specific song.
Okay, yeah, that's
me,
a
at least.
really interesting way to kind of craft a song. Actually, knowing that these are the kind of places you're going to be playing it, so you want to kind of play up to that. Guys, I realize that we are basically completely out of time. So before I let you play this last song, tell us a little bit about where to find you. Obviously, you got the Higher Ground show, but how do people find you online, and where will you be playing next?
Yeah, we're on Instagram, blackwater.band.vt. We're on Spotify. We got that one EP, Old North End EP. And yeah, I mean, Instagram is kind of like our website. We have a link tree, and it's it's in the Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's Instagram is basically our website. So yeah, you can check us out there, and that's where we do all of our promotions for shows. Radio Bean, Nectars, and Higher Ground coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Radio Bean next week.
Oh yeah, a week from today. Yeah, Radio Bean at the Fresh Press Wednesday.
Nice. You guys are going to be busy in May, it seems.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, and then the Higher Ground is that Friday, and then the Nectar show is the next Friday, and then we're the 12th.
12.
Yeah.
The 12th.
They're all in the span of a
You're
week.
going to be turning up a day late there.
And taking finals. So that'll be interesting.
Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy May for you. Well, best of luck. You guys have been amazing. What song have you got to play us out with?
Yeah, the song called "Where Are Your Shoes." We play it at all of our shows, and it's goofy and fun.
I think most of our songs are goofy and fun.
Well, hey, yo, look who's home. I said, I bet the rest of you not as alone. Oh, but I know, I bet the dance all you have in the bag. And this feeling that love is holding on to something, man, I think it's holding on to you. 'Cause that funny little mission that's always got you wishing that you lost, you gotta play. And we don't know where you are. Walk some miles in the dark. How did you get so far away?
Blackwater, finishing the show off with Where Are Your Shoes. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, no worries. Best of luck with the upcoming gigs. So next week we'll have some Rocket Shop favorites, Honey and Soul, be coming in. So definitely check out that show. But for tonight, this has been WOMM LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator, The Rocket Shop. I've been your host, I'm Proctor, and good night.